sensitive means capital A and small a are different in Python. You had seen it also when I had wrote country. Country with capital C and small c. So Python is not able to identify the capital C or the small c. So Python is case sensitive. One has to take care for the capital and small letters in Python. Second, Python is strongly typed, dynamically, implicitly typed. Let's understand what is this strongly typed, dynamically, implicitly typed. If I talk about earlier languages, there are so many earlier languages as well, such as you were having C, C++, Java, Perl, and many languages are there, earlier languages before Python. In those languages, whenever we do write, we have to write everything with the data type and variable name. Suppose I want to write any age, any student age. So I cannot write directly age variable. I have to give here data type. Either it is an integer, float, or character. So I will write that age is integer data type. So I will write integer age is equal to 12. This is okay. So this is a complete sentence I have to write. Integer is a data type, age is equal to 12. So I am saying age is 12, which is of data type integer. So this is the general way of writing any programming language earlier before Python. Suppose I want to write fees. Okay. So for the fees also, I have to write the data type. So fees is just like decimal values. So some rupee, some paise. So that I have to write in float. So I have to write what is the data type. I'll just write float fees is equal to, suppose 596.50. So decimal values there. So fees is of data type float. Age is of data type integer. Suppose I have to write any student name, any employee name, student name I can take. So name should be in character. Name should be in character data type. So there I have to write, how I have to write that one? I will write the data type first. So for writing the name, I can just write in this way. Character, okay, and character array I have to write. Array means because see, whenever I'm writing any name, I have to write the array also. Array means I'm just saying that name, whichever I'm writing, maybe that is having 20 characters or less than 20 characters. So if I'm writing Andrew, so it means Andrew value, ANDREU, they are between A to Z characters. They are characters. And whenever I'm writing it into the memory, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means 6 characters it is taking. This name is taking. And this can proceed up to 20 characters, not more than 20 characters. So these are the data types I have to follow. Okay. So integer, float, character, boolean, any other. So I have to follow these data type whenever I'm writing in any other languages. C, C++, Java, in those days, we have to write it. But now in Python, you have never seen this. Nowhere we are writing all these things. Because Python is very speedy language. It has strongly typed language. It is inbuilt dynamically, implicitly typed language. It is strongly typed language. Now here, whenever we are writing anything in Python, you can see Like yesterday also you had wrote so much. If I am writing A is equal to 10, A is equal to 10 here. So you can see that nowhere I am writing, see, if I write the same thing earlier days here, okay, so I have to write insert cell above, I have to write, see, earlier days, int A is equal to 10. This is the actual syntax I should follow. This is the actual syntax I should follow, this one. So it means what I'm doing, I am writing here DT, the data type, then I'm writing here variable and then the value. Data type, variable and value, right? You can see, suppose I'm writing insert cell below. See how I'm inserting the cell below. Suppose I want to write fees. Let's take a fees. Okay, general fees I'm taking. I will choose to write here float fees is equal to 677.90 paisa. But this is the way earlier in C, C++, Python, Java, we do write it. This data type, variable name, value, I will write it. Suppose I'm writing name, country name or anybody name, character, name, array. I have to, I'll tell you slowly what are all these things. This is just to put the name into the continuous values. Okay, I'm saying Andrew. So what will happen with it? We are saying that do one thing. When you are writing this Andrew, it will be not more than 20 characters. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 20. 20 characters. 20 character means byte in memory. So A, N, D, R, E, W. And this name should not be more than 20 characters. This is the limit I'm providing. Okay. So this earlier we have to do when we were working in the days of C, C++, Java. But now, as we are in Python days now, so Python is a speedy language. It did not require any data type. Nowhere I'm writing the data type. So what I'll do, I'll just remove these one. If I want to write A is equal to 10, it will easily take it. If I run it, it will take this. If I change it, suppose I'm changing it to, let's take 77. I'm changing. It is 77. So it is speedy. It is implicitly typed. Suppose fees. Fees is equal to 677.90. I'm just running it. And then I'm looking what is the fees. 677.90. So here, what it is saying, here name, suppose name is there. The point is here, you can see nowhere I'm writing the data type, directly I'm writing it, directly I'm writing the variable and the value, and it is displaying everywhere. Because the words I had mentioned, it is strongly typed, dynamically, implicitly typed. It means Python does not require any data type. It is very intelligent. So Python is very intelligent, speedy language, strongly typed language. As soon as I'm writing the variable name, I'm writing the variable name and the value. Variable name and the value, automatically Python will understand that I am integer data type. Now see how. Suppose I'm writing A. Okay, here I'm writing A. Initially it does not know what I'm writing, but as soon as I'm putting the value, any value I'm putting, and I'm running it, and here I'm just giving run. So here it is getting the idea, okay, A is 56. So it means A is integer data type because Python knows it. And if I am checking it out, suppose I'm writing here, what is the type of A? It is saying integer data type because Python is intelligent. It knows as soon as I'm putting a value inside the variable, it will know, yes, it is integer data type. The similar one, if I'm doing it here, suppose fees is there. So as soon as I'm writing it here, fees and the value. So it will come to know what is the value. Okay, it is 677.90. So it is decimal value. It means automatically it is float data type. You are not providing, but it knows. Now if I'm writing it here, okay, tell me what is the type of fees. So here it is giving, it is a float data type. See, you are not defining anything. You are not telling it that this is a float data type, but it will check it out. The Python will check it out on its own. It will detect it that this one is a float data type here. If I'm writing here name Andrew and I want to check it, what is the type? Tell me. It is saying string, str, string. So you can say this is string, this is float, and above it is integer. So basically, as soon as we will write the value inside the variable, Python will automatically come to know that what are the data types. So in Python, we do not provide any data type. It is implicitly typed. As soon as I give certain value to it, Python will automatically know that what is the data type. So this sentence, it is strongly typed, dynamically, implicitly typed means in Python, we do not provide any data type. As soon as we provide the value to the variable, automatically Python will detect what is the data type. So Python is intelligent and speedy language. Third one, it has both interpreter and compiler. Interpreter and compiler means basically these are acting as the translator. Translator means because here I'm writing the high level language. High level language means the words which I'm using, A plus B, length, breadth, print, all these are English-like language. English-like language. Now, any software will understand the machine language, binary language, because everybody knows the data is stored inside the language, inside the computer with the help of 01, 0101. Okay, 0101 are what? All the bytes are there. That is a binary language, 0101. And here we are writing length, area, print, breadth. So these are English-like language, and inside it, it is storing just like the 0101, okay, into the binary language. Now here in this particular Python language here, there are certain translator. Translator means which will translate your data, which you are writing. You are writing all these words into the binary language in two modes, interpreter and compiler. Interpreter and compiler. Interpreter and compiler. Interpreter means the data which is translated into the binary level language line by line. Line by line. So you can see it here. If I'm writing here, A is equal to 56. So how Python is understanding? A is equal to 56. This line uses interpreter to make this A is equal to 56 into binary language, binary level language. So interpreter will be taking the line by line, means line by line. So interpreter will help to translate the high level language, suppose A is equal to 56 into binary level language with the help of interpreter. It is translating all the data into binary, but interpreter works line by line, one line at a time. Suppose I had written this one, so line interpreter is using. Type A, it is using interpreter. B is equal to 5, it is using interpreter. So wherever one line is present and that line is translated into binary language, because it is a one line, so their interpreter works. So interpreter will translate all the data from high level language to binary level language, line by line, line by line. So in Python, it has interpreter which will translate all the data into binary language, but line by line. The second, if I check it out here, you can see multiple lines are there. See here, there are multiple lines, not a single line. Okay, so what will happen here when it is a multiple lines? When it is a multiple lines. So here, compiler is working. Compiler is a kind of translator or interpreter which is going to translate the high level language into the binary level language, with like a more than one line or object, simple way I am saying, object or paragraph. So whenever we are having more than one line, still it needs to be translated into binary level language. So there the compiler works. Okay, here interpreter is working. Here interpreter is working because interpreter is taking the data line by line, one line, simple way, line by line, and compiler is compiling all the data, okay, into the binary level language. How? At a once, whenever we are having more than one line. Okay, so the point is here that in Python both present. Interpreter when line by line are converting it to binary, and here compiler when the complete object, the complete code is being translated into binary. So it has both of the things. That's why Python is PD. So it means there are very, very good features of the Python, such as I'm saying it is a case sensitive. It is dynamically implicitly typed. There no need to write any data types. It has inbuilt interpreter and compiler. Interpreter it will be using for line by line, one line at a time, translating one by one line into binary level language, and compiler whenever a complete code is being translated into binary. So compiler is there. So that's why Python is very, very good language here. So these are just a few properties of the Python. It is also an object-oriented language. Object-oriented language. The point number 4, you can see point number 4. Just okay. See this one. Object-oriented language. What is object-oriented language? See, basically this concept came from C++. Earlier days, everybody you are aware that earlier days C was there, then C++ came. C++ itself is an object-oriented programming language, and on top of C++, Python is built. Python is built on OOPS, means Python is built on C++, so that's why Python carries OOPS feature, object-oriented programming features. So Python is also having the OOPS. Basically, object-oriented programming language is where we do create the classes, functions, variables, and my data is much protected. So see, basically, OOPS language is a big concept. Basically, it's a very big concept. I will be explaining this object-oriented because in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, I cannot explain this object-oriented language. This will be cleared when we are working on OOPS, that how to create the class, how to make the functions there, how to write member variables there. But you should know that Python is object-oriented language because Python is built on C++, and as the base C++ is also the OOPS language, so that's why Python inherits all the properties of C and C++. Okay, and it will be more clear that what is actually object-oriented language, what is the OOPS concept, when I will actually work. Okay, I will be creating all those classes. So it will be clear to you. But here only you should know, okay, Python is an object-oriented language. And slowly when we are going to do it, so at that time it will be clear to you. Okay. So these are very, very basics of the Python now. Data structures. Data structures, values, set of collection. When we talk about the data structure, we can write the what are list. Okay, just a moment. And or not logical, I'll just do a little bit of list and then I'll be tell you about and or not. Okay. Okay. So here we can see what are list. So list is also a named collection of values. Okay, named collection of values. And here we can create a list by collecting few values in square brackets here. So what I can do here, suppose I'm making a list here. So slowly we are going to do list, tuple, dictionary and set, but these are the major data structures in Python here. So here, if I'm creating a list here, so how to create the list? I have to use this C, this particular square for making the named collection, for making the collection of values here. So how to make a simplified list here? I have to write here list 1. This is the name given to the list and the square brackets, and in between I have to provide the comma which will hold the collection of values, the items it will be holding. Okay. Suppose I'm writing a simplified list, so I can write inside any data types I can hold it. Suppose I'm writing here 1, 2, 3. So this is a list which is holding the collection of values. Suppose I'm writing a list 2. This is the name given to the list. Then bracket on off, square bracket. I want to give certain more data, 1, 2, 3. These are commas here, 4, 5. These are the list here. Okay. I can just write the third list also by providing more type of data. So say here, square bracket I have to use, and here I can just put any other data. 11, 22, 88, 34, 45. So any data I can just give within the square with the comma separations, right? Suppose I'm writing list 4. I can give the float values also. Float values means decimal values. Suppose I'm writing 46.2, 38.3, 55.6, 58.8. So decimal values are there. Or suppose I'm writing the list 5 in square bracket. So I can write the character also. A, B, C. So I can write number list, float list, character list, or the mixed list also. Or the mixed list also, I can just take it here. This one. Okay. This one. Even I can write the mixed list. So let's learn like how to create the list now. Okay. For these one, and or not, I told you a little bit. I'll do that later on. So here, let's go ahead now. Here, let's make the data structures and list we are going to make. You can also open the Jupyter notebook, right? Click here, click on heading now. Yes, we can have string and integer both in a list also. Correct. It is correct. Click on run. So have you opened your Jupyter notebook? Have you opened your Jupyter? You can open list. Let's make a very small list here. Okay, very small. The name, this is the name, is equal to blank. This is a blank list. See. Actually, this is a blank list. What I do now, comma separation. Now I'm writing the data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, okay, click it here and now list is created, list 1. Okay, now click it here onto the run. You can say here, create the list 2 by just making. And now you can just see here what is the list 2. So the values are there. Okay, integer values are there. You can write any other list also. List 3, and here you can just write this one. Suppose here I'm writing 43, 89, 32, 78, 41. 90, 99. So any values you can just put it here, right? Click on run button and now you can just see list 3. List 3, click on run button. So in this way, we can create the list. Okay. You can create the float list also. Float means decimal values. You can just put it here. Decimal values. Right? So how to write the decimal values there? See here. List 4. Make a square bracket. Square bracket. And now you can write any decimal values. Okay? For decimal value, you can just write 52.8, 67.4, 22.8. It is the 0.8, 45.3, 88.2. Okay. In this way. You can just extend it with more also. Not only up to this one also. You are writing 23.1. Means more also you can just put here. As many as collection of values you can just put in the list here. So these are the list. These are the basic list. Very simple list are here. Shortcut for run is you can just click on Alt plus Enter. Alt plus Enter. This will execute it and add one more line. That is also okay, or Control plus Enter. Both will work. Here one more line is added. Here it will execute the only line. Control plus Enter, Alt plus Enter. Okay, right? So you can write in this way. These are the basic list structure. Here I can give more type of list, more data type also. You can just put it here. So just like integer, float here, I can just put more. Suppose here I'm just writing list 5. I can just write here, suppose character A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma, take it in characters. So it will accept it. It will accept it. Take care for quote. Take care for quote. Okay. Otherwise, errors will be there. List 5. It is there. So list 5 is there with character values. I can just give the mix of the list also, mixing values also. Suppose here I'm just making list 6 is equal to, I can just write, suppose I'm writing here 45, comma 89.34, comma 66, comma A. It is a mixing, say mixing of the list also. Just like we create a grocery list. Na? So mix of the characters, mix of the integer, mix of the float values are there. I can write here. Suppose here I'm writing. I can write the values also here. Suppose here I'm writing this one. I can add it this one also. Okay. Any more values here I'm just writing. Or let me check it out. One more thing. Boolean values also. You can write it here. Boolean values also you can write it here. So in the list, you can mix different type of data types. It is a list 6. Just check it out. Okay, try it yourself now. If you are having any query, do put into the chat support. Just make this list and you can make any kind of list there. Suppose here I'm making any name you can give. Here I'm making instead of list 7, I can give any other name also, not only this one. Take care for quote. If you are having any errors or something, then do put here into the chat support. The chat support link is given to you. Okay. Planet list is there. Click on run if you want to check it out. Planet list here. So you can just say the planet list here. Right. So here you can see. So the point is here that you can see list 6 is not defined. No, do not make any list inside a list right now. Please do not jump for anything. Otherwise, you will be in the problem. Okay, don't jump. If somewhere list, suppose it is saying list 6 is not defined. So you do one thing, you again go to list 6 and run it again. and then run again. Then it will be executed because by chance this line has been left for running. So that's why it is generating the errors. For any query, do put it into the chat support so that we can know what is your requirements or where you are facing the errors. Okay, so chat support link is there. Do put it there. Where my team is sitting, they will be responding you. So this is the planet list. So means you can make any kind of list there, right? Just you can continue. I'm waiting. Okay. At your comfortability, at your comfortable level, you can make any kind of list in a similar way. It is when we are writing the true or false. So it should be in capital letter. This one. Capital. If you're writing this one, it will not accept it. It will not accept it. Capital letter, David. Otherwise, it will not accept it. Yeah, duplicate entry is possible. You can write duplications also. You just try if you are writing anything. If you are repeating, suppose any value you are repeating 2 times anywhere, you can just try. Suppose 45 is here. Again, I'm writing a 45 here and running it. It is just printing 45. So you can enter the duplicate values as well, right? 45, 45. So it is working well. It is working well. Whenever you are getting the error, like list 6 not defined, it means that particular variable is not executed. So you go to that line, run it again, and then it will work. So this is the output of the outcome of the planet. Already know. It is just counting how many 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it is, wait. It is 7, 8.